Well, okay guys, it is base idle reset time. First thing you need to do before you do your base idle reset, I highly recommend, is set your timer. So with that being said, you're going to take out your chip. That's for the advance. You're going to take that out, just set it up there in your Foxbody tool tray. And you know, you guys know how to set timing, so or you should anyway. This is not a video about that. So I've already got the multimeter hooked up. So what we're going to do now is start the car and check the timing. You want to do this first before you go trying to set TPS and doing your base idle reset. Okay guys, so got the timing set somewhere around 14-15 degrees. That'll be fine. Should be fine for this car. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, go ahead, disconnect the idle air control. Now what I want to do is get the car to idle down somewhere around 650 RPM. So this is when you adjust your idle screw. May bump it up just a little bit. Don't worry about the surging. The surging is because the idle air control is not hooked up. Okay. I'm actually going to call that good. At this point, you've got your throttle stop fixed. What you want to do now is come in, turn the car off, switch the key back on. This is when I'm going to adjust my TPS, because you can see right here that will be too high. So what we're going to do here is just come in and adjust the TPS to the correct voltage. Now I actually like to set these a little lower than what they recommend. There is a much wider range these operate at than what you might think. 0.96 will work. That's fine. Don't worry about getting that 0.99, 0.98. Don't worry about all that. And the reason is, so let me show you guys. Let's say we didn't set the throttle screw down here and it was all jacked up. If this throttle screw was adjusted, see how it changes the numbers on the TPS? So that's why it's important to get this throttle screw set first before you go trying to set your TPS, because that adjustment down here will ultimately change your TPS adjustment. So that's the reason. And if you need to, you can actually make small corrections down here to change the TPS setting. So that's just a quick tip. So we have the TPS now set correctly, and what we're going to do is plug the idle air control in, and we're going to let the car run for 2 minutes with the idle air control plugged in, so that the computer knows to make these adjustments. At this point, you want no load on the car, so make sure all of your accessories are off. Start the car up. Call it 240. There we go. Now we will let the computer make its adjustments. Hopefully at this time the computer's made the correct adjustments. It's a little early. Usually it takes a few more seconds. Okay, so we're good. We're gonna switch the car off. We're gonna wait 2 minutes. So let's talk about exactly what's going on here. Now this is the way I do my base idle resets, and I've had really no issues with it. So that's why it's important to go ahead and get your timing set beforehand, and go ahead and get your throttle stopped. Now if you know for a fact that your throttle screw has never been adjusted, no big deal. But I still advise each and every one of you to pull that idle air control plug and see if the car will even idle on its own. You know, if you're having issues at this point, If you're doing a base auto reset, more than likely you're having issues. So check it, and if the car dies, in my opinion, the car needs to be idled up until it will stay running on its own, somewhere around 650 to 750 RPM. Then you'll plug the idle air control back in. So that was no load on the engine that particular time. This time will be full load on the engine with all of your accessories. Okay. So what I like to do is go ahead and just turn everything on ahead of time. Max. And you will hear correction from the computer here soon. I think that was it. Okay, so as you can see, the car has cleaned itself up. That's why it's necessary to do these base idle resets, because as you can see, now the car is idling as it should. So in a nutshell, that is the base idle reset, and that's how I do it. And there's your TPS voltage, so that's near perfect, if you consider that perfect, that is. I do want to talk about a few things while we're talking about the base idle reset, because there's a lot of components that do get a bad rap. You got your engine coolant temp sensor, your what is it, your air intake temp sensor, your idle air control, your map sensor, and what else, your mass air meter. These things are contributing factors. The biggest thing though that I have found is timing and a bad idle air control. But like I said, I just wanted to share it with you guys, because I know there's a lot of TPS myth running around too, and you can see how the TPS could get tricky if you're trying to set it solely off of one number. Or what if that idle screw is completely jacked, but you're setting the TPS correctly? There's where you're going to run into your problem. That's the whole purpose of this video, is to show you to check other components also. So I figured I'd give you a little bonus footage of driving the car down the road after the base idle reset. I'll tell you something else. If you're having trouble with your car not wanting to take off properly, a lot of the times a good base idle reset with the correct timing will work wonders with one of these cars. The throttle response is way better. The car takes off easier. Now understand, if you have a cam in one of these cars, you're going to get a little buck and snatch. So it's not going to be perfect. So just know that ahead of time. But with that being said, this car also has some bad plug wires. So I have new plug wires ordered, and they will be here soon. So the procedure recommends a 10 to 15 minute normal driving session so that everything can relearn. And that's basically what I'm going to do. I'm not going to take you along for the whole ride. I just kind of wanted to show you guys that it does work, and by all means do this. If you follow this step by step, your car should run way better. Remember, the car's got a cam in it, so it's going to fluctuate a little bit. Car runs a lot better. I'm telling you, you're going to be so much happier if you've been having some issues with your car. This cures a lot of different things. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and run the air conditioner. And we're going to come to a stop up here in just a second. And we're just going to check, make sure the idle's good. You guys know, like I do, this is a prime time for this car to die on you with all your accessories on, your headlights, your AC running full blast, your power steering turning it sharp. These cars don't like that. There is a little fluctuation in the RPM. I'm trying to keep the camera where you can see the RPM. This will also help your brake situation. When you go to press the clutch in on these cars, sometimes you don't have a lot of brake. So this will keep the idle up on the car enough to where you still have good Foxbody can be. My way may not be the best way, but it does work for me, and I hope that it can at least help your car out. Thanks for watching.
This is my fight, my truth, this is my war. Win or lose, this is my hill, this is my mountain. And I'm way up, I'ma own it, I'm in another level. They can't stop me, there's only one, and you are not me. My train of thought, I got no weakness, I'm on hard.